Hello, I'm Michael Ryle, author of the Breland poems Soliloquies, a collection of 24 dramatic monologues published in February 2025 by the Westbury Literary Group of Berkeley, California. A dramatic monologue is a poem in which a single character narrates a story, makes a speech, reflects on life, etc. Think Robert Browning, My Last Duchess, T.S. Eliot, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Matthew Arnold, Dover Beach. I call these poems soliloquies because as I was writing, I imagined each of them embedded in some surrounding narrative, for example, a play or a novel or a film. Often my notion of what that larger story was about was rather vague, but that did not keep me from imagining it. Today's video is of Soliloquy 7 from the collection. It's based on an ancient source, number 75 from the Jataka folk tales, which narrate past lives of the Buddha before he was incarnated as Gautama Siddhartha in Nepal and attained enlightenment under a bo tree at the age of 35. The time is imaginary, as is the place, a small pond filled with the creatures you'd expect to find there in a drought-stricken land. The narrator is, well, I'll let her tell you herself. Here is Soliloquy 7, performed by Mert Sparent.
The drought had remained with us so long, it seemed a thing distinct unto itself, rather than the absence of a thing. The crops of humans withered in the field, their cattle fell and rotted where they stood. Our pond home was shrinking by the day, the black circle pulling tighter like a noose. We all knew the time was not that far removed when the sharp taloned birds drowsing on the dead white limbs of the surrounding trees would wake to easy pickings in the shallow water. The bigger fish hovered at the muddy bottom with the snails and the scavengers crowding the smaller fish to the surface where the ravens, with a careful eye for any flash of silver, swooping down, snatched them up and bore them off. I didn't worry that the birds would come for me. Being a newt, my rough, dark skin is poisonous. I have no enemies, except a certain snake with the long yellow stripes, occasionally spots. Normally, I wandered where and as I pleased, through various lands, investigating sundry species. But the world beyond this puddle was a desert, and for me to leave just then would not be smart. Of the fish, the best and most beautiful, eyes aglow like rubies, rainbows glinting off the scales in the angled shafts of murky light. Bodhi, they called him, or her, I wasn't sure, was sick at heart and wept, if a fish could weep. The remaining days of this my family are measured out in droplets that dissolve in air, never to return. Bodhi had a somewhat ceremonious style, but I kind of liked it, found it interesting. The time has come to spend the virtue I've been saving for my righteousness to satisfy a larger plan. I will entreat Pajuna, son of Devagaba. O great one, I will cry, why do you hoard the silver waters that should flow to these? Release them, let them fall where they are needed. Pajuna knows that I am good. For my sake alone, he will save us all. Are you mad? I said. Have you lost your mind? Put so much as a fin above the water. Birds will dance upon your back. Time is short. Are you in a rush to die? Nevertheless. Bodhi ascended listlessly like one already dead, through the limpid dome and as a master to a servant standing by. Bring the flash, Bring the thunder, bring the rain, save them, O Parjuna. An osprey turned its yellow eye and raised its beak. And pushing off, it oared the air with monstrous wings. The swish of fins and tail lifted Bodhi higher in the water, and even louder than before, he called out to the thundercloud deity. Talons, black and cambered like the crescent moon, pierced the glistening scales, and the high and mighty raptor rose in flight with Bodhi in its clutch. I watched till it became a dot on the horizon, and with legs folded, thrusting with my tail, I burrowed in the bottom mud to meditate. I couldn't see the sense of Bodhi's sacrifice. What did it achieve? One less wolfish bird in the trees, one less fish in the pond? I fell asleep and was awakened by a tremor in the earth. Above, the sky was puffy black. Lightning struck, scattering the hungry birds. Raindrops fell in 2s, 4s, 8s, 16s. Parjuna is a fraud, I thought. He turns a blind eye while Bodhi's taken, then decides to send the rain after all? Ridiculous. No. God or no God, either way the rain would come. And yet the fish huddled close at the bottom where they genuflected in thanksgiving for the elevation of their Bodhi into heaven.